From massive changes to the film's cast to potential theories on how the movie will tie up loose ends. Here's how Fast 10 Part 2 will change the show forever. Vin Diesel let us know back in early June 2023 that Fast and Furious 11, also called Fast 10 Part 2, is set to hit theaters in April 2025. The team behind the 11th movie is already hard at work. Louis Leterrier, who directed Fast 10, is on board again, and writers Christina Hodson and Oren Uziel are crafting the story. Since Fast 10 was filmed from April to August 2022 and came out in May 2023, we're guessing that filming for Fast 11 should start around April 2024 to stick to the April 2024 release plan. Now, as far as the cast goes, Vin Diesel is set to return as Dominic Toretto in Fast and Furious 11. Despite the dramatic ending of Fast 10, where we saw him trapped at the bottom of a dam that Dante Reyes is about to destroy, it seems unlikely that the franchise would kill off Dom or his son Brian, played by Leo Abello Perry. The future of Roman, Tej, Ramsey, and Han hangs in the balance after the plane they were on got hit by a rocket fired by the new agency leader, Ames, who turns out to be working with Dante. While it's possible that we might lose one of these characters, chances are they'll all be back for the next installment. Michelle Rodriguez and Charlize Theron are also returning as Letty and Cypher. The finale surprised fans with Giselle picking them up in Antarctica, hinting at her miraculous survival. Jason Statham is expected to come back as Deckard Shaw, especially if he succeeds in rescuing his mother, Queenie, from Dante's goons. Statham's character might also reunite with Hobbs, played by Dwayne Johnson, following Johnson's unexpected appearance in the credits scene. While Statham might show up in the Hobbs solo movie, the absence of a Hobbs and Shaw 2 title suggests his primary involvement will be in the main series timeline. In Fast 10, we saw John Cena's character, Jacob Toretto, go out in a blaze of glory, sacrificing himself to save Dom's son. His car exploded with him inside. However, since we never saw his body, there's always a chance he could pop back up in this series. When it comes to the Toretto family, we're expecting Jordana Brewster's Mia to come back with a bigger role this time. There's also talk of Daniela Melchior making a comeback as Isabel. It turns out she's Elena's sister, making her the aunt to Dom's son. Jason Momoa's Dante and Alan Ritchson's Ames are likely to return, and we shouldn't forget about Brie Larson's Tess. She got shot but looked okay afterward, hinting that we might see her dad, Mr. Nobody, played by Kurt Russell, come back from wherever he's been hiding. It sounds like the next movie's already got a full house, but there's always room for more. Scott Eastwood's Little Nobody and Rita Moreno, playing the grandmothers of Dom, Mia, and Jacob, might also make appearances. And the franchise always has room for surprises. Vin Diesel has mentioned the possibility of bringing Robert Downey Jr. into the fold. He'd play a character who's everything Dom isn't, pushing the future of driverless cars. Imagine the stir that would cause. With such a rich mix of characters, both old and new, the next installment promises to keep the momentum going. The Toretto family dynamics are set to get even more complicated with Mia's expanded role and Isabel's connection to Dom's son. Now, if Fast and Furious 11 wraps up the saga, then Paul Walker's Brian O'Connor is bound to show up in some way, though it's still a mystery how they'll manage that. Adding to the intrigue, Walker's daughter Meadow had a small role in Fast 10 as a flight attendant who aids Jacob and Brian in their escape from the agency. This cameo could hint at her having a more significant role within the Toretto family narrative moving forward. Fast 10 laid a lot of groundwork for Fast and Furious 11, leaving several threads untied for the next chapter. As mentioned before, the stakes are sky high for Dominic Toretto and his crew as we pivot towards the climax of the Fast saga in Fast and Furious 11. After Fast 10 left fans on the edge of their seats, it's clear that the fate of key players like Dom and his son Brian, along with Roman, Tej, Ramsey, and Han, hangs in the balance. Confidence is high that Dom and Brian will navigate their way out of danger. But the futures of Roman, Tej, Ramsey, and Han are shrouded in uncertainty, with hints suggesting we might lose one or more of these beloved characters. Meanwhile, Letty and Cypher find themselves in a precarious situation, stranded in Antarctica. However, a twist no one saw coming brings Giselle back into the fold, alive and operating a submarine, offering a glimmer of hope for their rescue. This isn't the same submarine from Fast and Furious 8, as that was destroyed. adding another layer of mystery to Giselle's unexpected return. And with Deckard Shaw going on a mission to rescue his mother Queenie from Dante's henchmen, a vendetta against her for assisting Dom. At the same time, Hobbs becomes Dante's newest target, setting the stage for his own solo adventure and deepening the web of interconnected stories within the Fast universe. Despite Fast and Furious 11 not being penned yet, the narrative groundwork laid in Fast 10 was meticulously crafted with the saga's endgame in mind. This approach ensures that even though the immediate storylines might not conclude within Fast 10, they are all pieces of a larger puzzle that will ultimately come together. We really don't know how things will end up, though we're pretty sure a barbecue will be involved. It's all just guesswork at this point, but guessing is part of the fun. So, here are some ideas. Ever since Paul Walker's death, the Fast and Furious series has kept his character, Brian, out of the picture. The fate of the Furious, Fast 9, and Fast 10 all make it clear Brian is alive and looking after his family. But with Mia jumping back into the action in Fast 9 and Fast 10, Brian's absence is getting harder to ignore. With Dante Reyes after everyone Dom loves, it's hard to believe Brian wouldn't step in to help his friends. So, we might see Brian come back through the use of face replacement and deep fake technology for a bigger role in Fast 11. The Fast and Furious series is all about family. The biggest twist could be finding out that Toretto's father, Jack, is still alive. Jack's death was a pivotal moment that led to Dom's first arrest and drove Jacob away from Dom and Mia. The series has a history of bringing back people we thought were dead, so it wouldn't be shocking if they revealed Jack Toretto is alive, possibly even as a villain. This would be a huge twist and set the stage for a dramatic finale. The next Fast and Furious movie could also take Dom and his crew on a trip down memory lane, much like Avengers Endgame did for its heroes. This would be a way to honor the Fast saga's history before wrapping it up. While time travel seems far-fetched, it's not impossible in a series that features super hacking tools and futuristic car tech. So, the idea of time travel in Fast and Furious 11 shouldn't be completely dismissed. Another wild theory for Fast and Furious 11 suggests that the Fast saga might share its universe with another big pop culture series. There's a running joke that Dom's crew could end up teaming up with the Transformers or battling dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. Though it sounds improbable, especially after Fast 10, you can't completely write off such a crossover. After all, both the Fast and Furious and Jurassic World series are under Universal's roof. On the more believable side, we have a theory about Charlize Theron's character Cypher from the Fast saga. She unexpectedly teams up with Dom and his family after barely getting away from Dante. The director Leterrier pointed out a scene where Cypher makes a deal with Dom and his wife Letty, Michelle Rodriguez, saying it's a clue to the future of the Fast saga. Considering Cypher has always caused trouble for Dom and his family, this twist could lead to several outcomes in Fast and Furious 11. Even though Cypher and Dom's family both see Dante as an enemy, trusting Cypher is another story. Letty starting a fight with Cypher later on shows she doesn't trust her for the long haul. Cypher likely feels the same. This tension suggests their alliance might crash and burn in Fast and Furious 11, with Cypher possibly turning on them, or both sides turning on each other for some reason. Now, Dom and Little B are in a tight spot at the end of Fast 10, facing a collapsing dam and a potential tidal wave. It seems unlikely that Fast and Furious 11 would start by killing them off. They might get saved by someone surprising, hinting at what's next in Fast and Furious 11. And Gal Gadot's character Giselle, who we thought died in Fast and Furious 6, is back in Fast 10. Her comeback signals she'll have a big role in Fast and Furious 11. But we'll have to wait and see. So, from potential theories on how the movie will tie up loose ends to massive changes to the film's cast, this was how Fast 10 Part 2 will change the show forever